Well, Peter Dutton's opposition is firming for a fight with the government over nuclear energy. Liberal MP Ted O'Brien, a supporter of nuclear power, will take up the shadow climate change and energy portfolio. He was outspoken last term in terms of embracing technologies including small modular reactors. For more on this, let's bring in Phillip, Coorey, political editor with the Australian Financial Review. Interesting, a few different elements of it, including Ted O'Brien. It's a sign on where they'll go on nuclear. We spoke to David Littleproud last week, who said he wants to push this as well with Peter Dutton.
Yeah, look, Peter Dutton said when he became leader last week, we're going to establish, we as in the Liberal Party are going to establish some points of difference with Labor. We said no more being Labor light, and I think this is the first one. It's interesting, Alexander Downer had a column in the Financial Review today saying go for nuclear energy as a point of difference. So it's something that Conservatives can get around. It has the clean energy and the reliability component to it. And it allows, no Labor can never embrace it. It's just against their platform. The Labor left would never let Anthony Albanese do it. So you can sort of use it as a counterpoint to Labor's arguments on emissions and reliability. So it was a deliberate thing, putting Ted O'Brien in. Ted, as you know, he's gone from the backbench to the shadow cabinet, which in itself is
big leap.
Big leap and not usual. So it was a deliberate statement.
Yeah, interesting to note. I mean, so far the small modulars.
That's all there is.
Reactors.
Yeah, we're not talking about Chernobyl.
No, and the idea is they're quicker, but so far they're not actually all that cheap. So whether it's a solution or not, we'll see. Yeah. It's almost just being open to it, and then will voters be convinced? Another interesting one was Julian Leeser. So his potential role here in Indigenous constitutional recognition. And this might be less of a fight, perhaps. Where do you think this is going?
Yeah, well, again, I mean, Peter Dutton's been conciliatory on this. He's not against the Indigenous voice.
I should say the voice is the more contentious issue.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But look, Julian Leeser, this is a long overdue promotion, I think. He's got quite a brilliant mind, Julian, and he's a good policy person and a very good constitutional lawyer and so forth. And he's been, I think, underused by the party in the past. I mean, of all the promotions yesterday, I thought this was the most, overdue and warranted one. But there's a lot of issues coming up, not just with the voice and those sorts of things. Prospect of a republic again back on the agenda.
And so with both of these things, with the republic, but in particular with a voice, the issue has been, what are the implications? What could happen? What are we open to? So if that's the issue, if it's legality, complexity there, get someone that knows that.
Yeah, and he's brilliant at the Constitution and not just that. I mean, it's not just that stuff too. We've got the, Dutton's now behind an integrity commission. Right, so and talking about knocking heads with Helen Haynes on the crossbench and stuff. So look, Julian's
complexity.
Julian's a very good policy person. He's a brilliant legal mind. I think it's a good appointment for all those challenges.
Interesting as well. So Alex Hawke, Stuart Robert going.
Yep.
We know why, in particular with Alex Hawke, to some lesser degree Stuart Robert. The disastrous New South Wales pre-selection. It was interesting though the tactical approach here, because within whatever you call this group, whether it's a faction or whatever, the rewards for those, including Julia Lisser and Melissa McIntosh, mean that the power base overall hasn't been punished, just the heads of it. So Peter Dutton keep people in the tent, if you like.
Spear carriers. Yeah, look, reshuffles are notoriously difficult, and especially one of this. I mean, lots of people have been dumped. Linda Reynolds is gone, Melissa Price is gone. There's an element of renewal here as well. It's not just sort of power base. It's a big element of getting new people in, Andrew Hastie, people like that. I mean, the Nationals have really flexed their muscle as well. I mean, that's probably the bigger the bigger change. They've got 6. They've kept 24 in their cabinet. They didn't go back to 23 to match Albanese. They kept it at 24. That's indicative of how much pressure there is to give everyone a job. The Nats have grabbed 6 of those spots, 3 men, 3 women, and most significantly, they took back trade, which was a real power grab. Tony Abbott took trade off the Nationals when he won power in 2013. The Nats had it since Jack McEwen in '56. They were just deemed too protectionist. They could never do a free trade deal because they didn't want to trade on agriculture.
When the coalition wanted to roll out all these.
That's right. And Andrew Robb came in and did a brilliant job and knocked off those FTAs in quick succession with the Nats. That was a real trophy. They grabbed that back. So there were a lot of little sort of markers and signs in what happened yesterday about the new balance. It's not just,
and even some eyebrows raised at Barnaby Joyce, Michael McCormack back in there, maybe more so in Barnaby Joyce. Just finally, Indonesia, Anthony Albanese, he's over there. It's interesting. It's always this sort of first priority trip in terms of when you choose to go there. but it's not still a particularly warm
No, never.
relationship.
No, as one Indonesian diplomat said to me once, you can either kowtow or powwow with Indonesia, and we always tend to kowtow. Look, I've been covering Indonesian visits since John Howard, and it's always a one-way thing. We always have to go there; they never come here, and we always have to sort of bow and scrape. I don't know why it is. It's just the way it is. John Howard was always seeming to apologise to Megawati for whatever he had to do, and then Tony Abbott went over and apologised for the live cattle export and a ban. I think Coorey came here in 2014. Was it Coorey or SBY? I can't remember who was the president then. Only because they came for the G20. But apart from that, Indonesian presidents rarely come here. It's always us having to go there. I think every prime minister except since Whitlam has made Indonesia their first official visit. I mean, Albanese had to go to Japan for the Quad. That was
the first one you can choose.
But but they've all done it, and it's a very one-way relationship. But it just is what it is. Don't know why.
Tradition continues. Phil Coorey, thank you.
See you, mate.